Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I don't give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing bad time. Doing bad time. Got myself a problem.
I'm messed up, growing tired of knots, tangled up in problems, and not caring enough. Now I'm on a journey to find what's right, always telling the truth, but hiding all the lies. And don't go thinking I'm being myself. I just act this way around you, and someone else. This isn't where I wanna be. Let's look in the kitchen and the living room. Nothing to find but what's left from a really great time that wasn't any of mine. Running away feels like a storm. Let's throw our problems out the door today. Well, I'm finding things clear to me. And don't go thinking I'm being myself. I got other things on my mind, not you or anyone else. This isn't where I wanna be. Whoa, make me see the things on the inside. 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 Don't go thinking I'm being myself. I just act this way around you, and to someone else. This isn't where I wanna be. Whoa,
if I could share her sorrow for all the men that tried to treat her wrong. You're just a baby awaiting her tomorrow. It's rock me baby all night long. She needs an answer to her confusion, someone to guide her with tenderness. But when she's asking for a solution, oh, she gets, you know, it's something like this. I don't know where we come from, I don't know where we're going to, but if all this should have a reason, we would be the last to know. So let's just hope there is a promised land. Hang on till then, as best as we can. Everybody else, you know, it fills her with compassion. That's why she tries to save the world alone. She helps the needy in her own fashion and tries to give them all her own. She needs an answer to her confusion, someone to guide her with tenderness. But when she's asking for a solution, oh, she gets, you know, it's something like this. I don't know where we come from, I don't know where we're going to, but if all this should have a reason, we would be the last to know. So let's just hope there is a promised land. Hang on till then, as best as we can.
All I want is to be loved. All I want is you. All I want is to be from somewhere, an address for me and you. Sometimes it feels impossible to get along. It feels impossible to get along. Again, I'm living with my family. Again, I'm feeling blue. Again, you've made me question our love. Again, with you, sometimes it feels impossible to get along. Yeah, it feels impossible to get along. Sometimes it feels impossible. So now I sit alone in silence, waiting to hear from you. I pray there's something left inside us. If it's broken, I've got some glue. I'll fix it all for you. Fix it all for you. I'll fix it all for you. I'll fix it all for you. It all for you. But it feels impossible to.
Live from San Diego, it's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to NFL Real Talk on Sports World Radio. That's right, this is our NFL Real Talk. We're talking nothing but NFL today. Glad everybody can be with us. We got a jam-packed show. We got two games to talk about that happened, one that already happened, one that's going on. We'll get into all of it. Plus, we got to make our picks for the second half of the show today for tomorrow's games. We got a lot to get to. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody you can listen to NFL Real Talk and Sports World Radio right on the Sports World Radio page over there on SportsWorldRadio.com. You can also listen to us on HonestAnswerRadio.com. That's HonestAnswerRadio.com, as well as Spreaker.com. Also, you can subscribe to our iTunes channel. That's right, we're on iTunes, bitches. Head on over there, subscribe to our iTunes channel. Sports World Radio, all one word. You'll never miss one of our shows, whether it be Sports World Radio or the NFL Real Talk Show. Any of them, you will get them all. You can also like us on our Facebook page over there, Sports World Radio Facebook.com/Sports World Radio. That's Facebook.com/Sports World Radio. Also, head on over to our Twitter and follow us on Twitter. That's Twitter.com/Sports World Radio. No O in world over there on Twitter, on our Twitter account for Sports World Radio. With all that being said and out the way, what do you say? Hey, we bring in our co-host, Mr. Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff, and welcome everybody to the NFL Real Talk. It is 10:06 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 7:07 p.m. on the West. Now 10:07 p.m. on the East. It is January 4th, 2014. Hello, Jeff Escow. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, my friend?
Been doing great. Been having a great Saturday. Weather was beautiful. Went out to eat today and then came back home and watched. I've been watching all NFL playoffs all day, and it's going to be going on even tomorrow.
Yeah, weather's been kind of beautiful out here. Again, another beautiful 70, 75, gorgeous sunny day out here in beautiful sunny San Diego. You got to love it. You got to love it. So what do you want to start off with today, my friend?
Well, today our first topic, and this was a game that Jeff and I were talking about. We posted on Facebook. Everybody did. The Indianapolis Colts hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, the last time the Chiefs have won a playoff game, you got to go back to 1993. That was when Joe Montana was quarterback for the Chiefs, and Marty Schottenheimer, of course, was head coach. They beat Pittsburgh. They go to Indianapolis today, and it was a wild game, and it was one of the best games I've seen in a long time with lots of high scoring and 5 total turnovers.
5 total turnovers in that game. Luck throws, 2 interceptions in that game?
Yep.
2 interceptions and still gets away with it. and they still end up coming back. What a comeback that was, man! What a freaking comeback that was. And you gotta love his last name, Luck. Come on, that was some luck, man, right there.
Well, the Colts, you got to remember, when they let Peyton Manning go, they were wondering, could Andrew Luck be really the guy that could carry them? And it turns out he has done just that. Incredible comeback, 38-10. I saw you post on Facebook, Jeff, saying this game is over. It's done with. The Chiefs are going to end their playoff losing streak. And then the Colts just kept coming back, and the Chiefs did not convert some big downs. And what a choke. And I would not want to be in Kansas City right now.
Well, you want to know something? It was like I was watching two different games. The first half was all Kansas City. The second half was all pretty much Indianapolis.
Well, the way I look at it, Jeff, is that, when it was 41-38, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if the Chiefs score right here, this game is over. And they'll win and they'll move on. That field goal was big. But I was saying, well, they're all right, so they got a field goal. So now they're going to have to hold them on defense. And Andrew Luck threw a bomb to a wide-open Indianapolis Colt for the go-ahead lead. And that was the only lead of the game that the Colts had, because they never led and they had to fight all the way back to win it.
You know how many players the Chiefs lost in that game? The players were dropping like flies, dude.
Yeah.
They lost, 6, 7, 8 players in that game? Oh, my God. Players were dropping like flies. They lost their first-string running back, their second-string running back. Okay, they lost their first-string cornerback and their second-string. They lost linebackers. They were losing players left and right in that game. They lost their first-string running back 6 plays into the game.
Yeah, and I think if I have the count, Jeff, I think it's 4 or 5 or 6 players. So it was a lot for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that really was a problem. But it was what I call a collapsing defense.
Alex Smith had a great first half and a crappy second half, whereas Andrew Luck just played an unbelievable wacky game, throwing a couple of interceptions, then throwing unbelievable passes. His feet movement in the second half was just unreal. It was just unstinking-believable.
Yeah, and if you look at it, the first pick, actually, the pick that started the second half, Jeff, I thought to myself, well, that pretty much is going to doom the Colts right there and pretty much be their season. And then he finally woke up. He got him down the field. They scored 38-17, and then a huge fumble recovery. That was big, and they just found a way to keep coming back. But if I'm a Kansas City Chief fan, I'm just sick at the way things ended up and how they just had a game that they had in total control and then blew it. And I'm lucky I picked up a point in this game. Lucky.
What, for our fantasy picks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? We both picked Indy, and I was watching this game, and I'm like, oh, my God. This guy, I thought this game was over. I thought Kansas City was going to win, and that was going to be that. Well, unbelievable. It was like completely two different games. First half, all Kansas City. Second half, all Indianapolis. It was unstinking believable.
Yeah, and I think if you're a Chief fan, you don't even want to look at wearing a Chiefs hat or a Chiefs jersey or a sweatshirt because, that game was so theirs. And when you collapse and blow a game like that, that's just unbelievable because when you think about it, the last time a team that had come back from that kind of deficit, you got to go back to 1993. The Houston Oilers played the Buffalo Bills. They were up 35-3, and Wright, who was coming in for Jim Kelly, got the Buffalo Bills back from that deficit. The Saints, they blew a lead in 1980 against the 49ers. So, welcome to the club, Kansas City Chiefs, for blowing the lead.
Well, I think the big momentum change happened when Matthias stripped the ball from Smith and gave the ball back to Indianapolis. That was the big momentum change right there.
I agree with you. If Alex Smith doesn't fumble that ball and if he chews up clock and doesn't commit that fumble, the Chiefs would be in great shape right now. They'd be moving on, celebrating, and finally ending the playoff drought. Now the drought lives on for who knows how long, and for Andy Reid coming in there just has to be sick. And this is exactly what I've said on all the shows that we've done about the Chiefs, okay? they did not end the season on a good
No,
note. You
but
go
they had a
11
great
and 5.
season. But they had a great season after last year's season. Come on, they had a great season.
You got to give them props, and hopefully they can build from this and learn. But it's going to sting for a long time for the Chiefs, the organization, and of course the city of Kansas City. I've got family in Lee Summit, and they just told me that they were stunned that the Chiefs blew that game.
Well, that's what you get for playing a prevent defense. You know, that's what you get for playing a prevent defense. I was just look. Indy's defense was playing like Kansas City's defense in the first half. Indy's defense just came alive in the second half. Right after that fumble, blammo. It was Indy's game, 100%. That fumble right there totally changed the outcome of the game. I believe that 100%.
Well, welcome to the club. This is the 4 teams. The 1992 wild card, as I said, the Bills, they came back from 32 points. They beat the Oilers 41-38. The 2013, the Colts, of course, now they came back from 28 to beat the Chiefs. The San Francisco 49ers, they did it in 2002. The wild card against the Giants, they came back from 24 down. And 1957, the Western Conference, the Lions came back from 20 down to beat the 49ers. So those are the teams that have come back from those kind of deficits. And, yeah, if you look at Andrew Luck, you know, he was it was an unbelievable the way he was able to bring the team back. I mean, Chiefs had 30 first downs. The Colts had 28. And it was, like you said, Browning, like a video game. The Chiefs had 513 total yards of offense, and the Colts had a total of 536.
And at one point, the Indianapolis Colts were running plays so fast, it was unbelievable.
Well, if you're going to come back from
you
big
got that
deficits,
offense,
you have to run the no-huddle.
Yeah, and he had that offense moving. I mean, they were running play after play. I mean, they were just running plays. It wasn't even close to. I mean, it looked like they were running plays every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, they were running plays quick.
They were running, plays quick, and you have to do that when you're down. You have to go with the no-huddle offense, and you and I were posting on Facebook, and I was getting ready to Skype you though too, but I had my computer off. But then I came back and I said, Jeff, what a comeback! I said this is one we're going to be talking about a lot on the show tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild comeback. It was pretty freaking crazy.
And as for the Chiefs, you know, if you think about it, another play that they'll be stunned about is the Chiefs receiver who had 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and that just absolutely. I looked at a bunch of Chief players. Sick, bewildered, shocked, and just saddened to see that it came to an end like that.
Well, that's it. That was Dwayne Bowe, and you gotta give props to the defender who kind of pushed him out that way.
Yep.
You know, you got to give props to that defender who pushed him out towards the out of bounds. If he would have got that second foot in, the game still would have been going.
Game would have been going, and that would have just given the Chiefs the win right there. That would have been the field goal.
I don't know if it would have been within field goal range. Would it have been? Where was that catch?
It was about the 20 or 17-yard line.
Right. So if that was a catch, then he would have been out of bounds, and there was still time on the clock. There was still a minute and some odd left on the clock. I would have kept going. I would have kept going because you don't want to give Andrew Luck the ball.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, too, that there was 2 minutes left in the game. It was 4th down and 11. And if the Chiefs if that receiver would have caught the ball for Kansas City, what the Chiefs would have done is they would have maybe done a few runs and then tried to chew up a lot of clock and kick the game winner.
Exactly. It would have been first down on the 17, say, and then you go and you run the ball. Eat the clock up. Make them burn their timeouts and save time because they know you're going to kick the field goal. So they'll make them burn their timeouts. You burn their timeouts. You run the ball, run the clock all the way down. If you don't score the touchdown, then you score the field goal and you win. But Dwayne Bowe's foot was out, so all that right there is for naught.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of things that should have happened but didn't happen, and for the Chiefs, you know, it's going back to rebuilding, but Andy Reid did a good job. You're right. He turned them around. They got them to 9-0, but they didn't end the season strong. They finished its turnaround season with 3 straight losses, 2 to the Colts and an 8th straight postseason defeat none more stunning than this one. The 8 straight losses broke a tie with the Detroit Lions for the longest playoff skid. And maybe hopefully tomorrow the Cincinnati Bengals will end their long playoff drought. Otherwise, if not, I don't know what to think.
Well, the only problem I had with Andy Reid is they got conservative in the second half. They didn't keep playing the way they played in the first half. They got conservative in the second half, and Andy Reid's time management sucked, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big deal with him in Philadelphia, and he did it again in Kansas City.
Yep.
Did it again in Kansas City. I'm watching this Saint-Philadelphia game, and Saints are driving.
Yeah, I was watching it. It was halftime. It was 7-6. Right now, New Orleans leads 13-7, and
they're
Browning,
driving.
I've been thinking of you. I've been thinking of TCB and Kenny C.
And they're driving right now. Right now, they're driving. They're first and goal right now, or second and goal right now. No, first and goal right now. They're driving. They got the ball on the 4-yard line, dude. They're getting ready to score another touchdown.
You know, it's been it was like kind of a sloppy first half, missed field goals, some penalties, and now New Orleans playing well. Could this be the night that they could end their long road playoff losing streak? They've lost. They're 0-5. Maybe this will be touchdown.
Touchdown Saints, yeah, touchdown Saints. Another touchdown for the Saints, man.
And look at Browning. God dang it.
Browning, you got a little bit of a problem, my friend. You know, you got third quarter sitting here at you. You got a little bit of a problem right now. That's why TCB's not here.
And I'm the one who's going with Philadelphia there, Browning.
Yeah, I picked Philly too because I didn't think the Saints can win on the road because they haven't proven it. And they're proving it tonight,
Kenny
aren't
was here,
they?
He'd say, who dat? Who dat?
Well, they're proving it, ain't they?
Yes, indeed. There's some other headlines, Jeff, from the NFL for our Real Talk. The Tennessee Titans have fired Coach Munchak.
Yes. How about that? Look at Browning. Look at Browning. He's pissed. Look at Browning. Look at him. Look at Browning. Don't say what he said. Don't say what he said. Just that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
The Titans, Jeff, what's your thoughts about Mike Munchak
What
being
is that,
fired as coach of the Titans?
What is that? The 7th head coach?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't see that one. Well, I kind of did see that one coming. We said it during the week last week that he might go. They didn't have such a great year, man. You want to know something? They haven't been any good since they let Steve Fisher go. Or
They
Jeff
haven't been any
Fisher.
good since, with
Jeff
Jeff
Fisher,
Fisher
I'm sorry,
when he
Jeff
got
Fisher.
fired, and of course when they back when the Steve McNair, Eddie George days, and
They
Frank
haven't been
Wycheck.
any good. They haven't been any good since they let Steve Fisher go. Jeff Fisher, I'm sorry, I did it again. They haven't been any good since they let Jeff Fisher, the head coach, go. Now he's with St. Louis, but they haven't done anything, a hill of beans. They were good when he was there as their head coach. They haven't done a hill of beans since they let him go.
Munchak compiled a 3-season mark of 22-26 and did not take the team to the playoffs, even after late owner Bud Adams signed off on free agent contracts worth more than $100 million in the spring.
You see that? You see that there, Jerry Jones? After 3 years, they fired their head coach because he didn't take them to the promised land, and you still got the same one there.
You still got Jason Garrett, but he's talking more about expanding the playoffs.
No, I don't.
from
I
12
heard
to
that.
16 teams.
I heard that today. I was watching NBC before the football game, and I heard that today. They're going to expand it to one team in each league. So one team in the NFC and one team in the AFC. Just one team in each. Jerry Jones is going to vote yes on that because that's going to be the only way he can get into the freaking playoffs. And you want to know something? He wouldn't have got in anyway.
That is true.
He wouldn't have got in anyway at 8-8. Right?
He's just trying to do something because he's all upset because his team didn't even make it.
He wouldn't have got in anyway, right? Either Detroit or Chicago would have got in, correct?
Correct.
So screw you, Jerry Jones. You wouldn't have got in anyway. And you wouldn't have got in anyway even if it was...
Perfect.
And you wouldn't have got in anyway, even if it was 2 teams, because Chicago and Detroit both would have gotten in. So you wouldn't have gotten in anyway, you rat bastard.
Yep.
You know? Unbelievable. Should have made him the rat bastard of the week.
I had to go with Wes because Wes was complaining.
I agree with you, though. No, I agree with you, though. It was the right call, but still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Jerry Jones continues to say that I'm doing a good job as owner, president, general manager of the Cowboys.
Yeah, okay. As long as you keep thinking 8-8 is doing a good job, then you keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking news into the NFL Real Talk. Wade Phillips has been fired as the Texans defensive coordinator.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of knew that was coming, and so did you, because they hired a new head coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to want to bring in his own guys, right?
Yeah, Bill O'Brien, the new coach, saying, I want to bring in a new staff.
Yeah.
So Wade Phillips will be looking for another coaching job or being a defensive or offensive coordinator.
No.
Mainly a defensive coordinator.
Wade Phillips will either be a defensive coordinator or he'll be a head coach somewhere.
Yep.
Those are going to be the 2 options, and I think he should stay as a defensive coordinator. Who needs a good defensive coordinator? I would say the Texans, but they had him. I mean, they had a good defense.
Floor is open for nominations for Wade Phillips. I probably would, maybe the Lions would need a defensive coordinator. Maybe the Vikings need a defensive coordinator. Hard to say. I wouldn't. Maybe Wade Phillips becomes the next head coach of the Minnesota Vikings or Detroit Lions.
Well, now that he's fired, that's good because now he can go and apply and apply for the head coaching job at Detroit and at Minnesota and at all these other places.
Yeah, or
right?
He will be looking at really good possibilities, and maybe the Raiders, because I've been hearing that the Raiders may not bring their coach back. It's still uncertain if the Raiders coach will come back.
Hey, let me ask you a crazy question.
Mm-hmm.
If the Cowboys fire Monty Kiffin, do they bring Wade Phillips back as their defensive coordinator?
That's a good question, Jeff. I would say possibly. I don't know how Jerry Jones would want to do it. Remember, Wade Phillips was coach of that team. It's a possibility.
It's a possibility, ain't it?
I'm just uncertain. I don't know if Jerry Jones would want him back, but Wade Phillips has done a great job as defensive coordinator at other places.
Anywhere he's been as a defensive head coach, he's done a great job as a defensive head coach. Maybe the Jets should get him.
Yeah, the Jets are a possibility. Rex Ryan would be open to doing that, and Tampa Bay, no, because Leslie Frazier took over as defensive coordinator there, and Lovie Smith hired him.
Because you know damn well he's not going to be out of a job, Wade Phillips.
No, he will find some other place to go.
Oh, you know where he's going to end up?
Where?
He's going to be the next head coach of the Washington Redskins.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I can see that happening where Phillips goes to the Redskins because they're looking for a new coach.
That's right. That's where he's going to end up. That's where I believe he's going to end up. He'll be the head coach of the Redskins. How about that for a crazy prediction right there, boys and girls? Remember, I said it right here at 7:26 p.m. on Saturday night, West Coast time, on the 4th of January, on the new year 2014. Watch it. I'm going to laugh my behind off if it happens. Wouldn't you there, Shawnee?
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it? But I think that's a great fit for him. I think the Washington Redskins is a really good fit for him.
Daniel Snyder, ever since he's taken over, has been trying to find somebody that can bring leadership and bring the direction back to the Redskins because he's tried. Remember when Dan Snyder took over, he had Norv Turner as coach, and things didn't always go well between Norv Turner and Daniel Snyder. Then he went with Marty Schottenheimer. Then he tried Steve Spurrier, and that didn't turn out really well. And Spurrier went back to South Carolina, and he's been trying everything he can to bring the winning back to the Redskins back from the Theismann days.
He has been. Something, I read an article I think it was late last night or yesterday, saying that there was a poll taken around the United States about if the Washington Redskins should change their name. And the poll, if I remember correctly, was like 78% don't change the name. 78% of Americans don't want the Washington Redskins to change their name. How great is that? How great is that?
And when I went down to D.C., I saw a lot of people wearing Redskins gear, and I'm thinking to myself, even when I was in Richmond, Virginia, I was at a restaurant, and a waiter had an RG3 jersey, and I'm like thinking, hopefully this will not be the time. That'll anger a lot of people.
Did you ask anybody down there? You should have asked people down there, and, said, "Hey, can I ask you a question? I do a sports show out of San Diego, and I was wondering. We talk about it a lot on the show. I was wondering, do you guys want the Redskins to change their name?" Should have asked. Did you ask?
No, I did not.
So when you go to places like that, you need to ask people questions, man. That's what tourists do. Right?
Yeah, but I was seeing all the historic spots. I didn't have time to go to see the Redskins football stadium.
I didn't ask you to do it. When you're at a freaking restaurant, you ask somebody. Like the waiter who was wearing a Redskins jersey, right?
Right.
Say, "Excuse me," while he's taking your order. "Excuse me. You're wearing that Redskins jersey. You're a fan, I'm assuming, correct?" He'll say, "Yes, I am." You'll say, "Great. Could you answer this question for me? Do you want them to change their name?" That's it. How hard is that?
I know, but the way I look at it, they'd be against it.
How do you know that unless you ask? How do you know unless you ask? You're just assuming, right?
Yes.
And you know what happens when you happens when you assume, don't you? You make an ass out of you and me.
It's always been played with me when people assume things, and it comes out totally inaccurate.
Exactly. So you assumed yes, but you didn't ask. I ask questions all the freaking time, man.
And there's nothing wrong with asking questions. I should have done that.
If you're on vacation and especially in Washington, and we were talking about that for weeks, I can't believe you didn't ask anybody. I would have been asking people left and right. I seen somebody wearing a Redskins jersey, a Redskins jacket, a Redskins cap. I'm asking because I want to know.
Sure.
Excuse me a second. I see that you're a Redskins fan. Do you want them to change their name? Boom. Done. They're going to say it's a yes or no answer. That's it. And you have an answer for both of them. Whether they say no, you say great, neither do I. Or if they say yes, I do, you say great. What name would you like them to choose? You ask them a follow-up question. Now you got them thinking. Now they're like, well, I don't know. They say great. When you come up with one, send your email to sportsworldradio@yahoo.com. Done. And then you move on.
I know. Update time?
Yeah, what do you say we do an update? This update right here, the only one of the day, brought to you by Keurig-Coffee-Machines.com. Take it away, Sean, man, the update, man.
Welcome to the NBA. Actually, welcome to the update for NFL Real Talk.
Welcome to the
Saturday,
NBA.
January 4th, 2014.
Welcome to the NBA. What the hell is that?
10:32 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 7:32 p.m. on the West. Let's get to the NBA scoreboard. In Indianapolis, Indiana, it was a great day, of course, not just for Colt fans. Their Indiana Pacers, 99-82 against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Miami Heat, they're right behind Indiana. They defeat Orlando tonight, 110-94. The Brooklyn Nets over the Cleveland Cavaliers, 89-82. The Chicago Bulls over the Atlanta Hawks, 91-84. In other games, we got a thriller going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota with 4 seconds remaining. The Oklahoma City Thunder lead 113-111. The San Antonio Spurs, they're blowing out the Los Angeles Clippers with 6 minutes and 13 seconds left, 102-83. Phoenix Suns, they lead Milwaukee 70-53 with 8 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the third quarter, 71-53. The Philadelphia 76ers, they're leading 19. It's kind of good because right now the Eagles are NFL game since we're talking about it. Charlotte Bobcats over the Sacramento Kings with 9 seconds left in the first quarter. This is one of the late games, 31-27. In the NHL, there were a lot of games to get to. We're going to get to the finals from this Saturday afternoon and night. This afternoon, down in the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, the Boston Bruins prevail 4-1. The Colorado Avalanche, they take the game 4-3 against the San Jose Sharks. The Buffalo Sabres over the New Jersey Devils 2-1. The New York Rangers blowing out the Toronto Maple Leafs 7-1. In overtime tonight, the Ottawa Senators over the Montreal Canadiens 4-3. 5-4, the Florida Panthers over the Nashville Predators in a shootout. The Carolina Hurricanes over the New York Islanders 3-2. And the St. Louis Blues, they prevail by a score of 6-2 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. 4 games going on right now in the National Hockey League. The Detroit Red Wings against the Dallas Stars. In the third period, with 6 minutes and 44 seconds remaining, the Red Wings lead by a score of 5-1. The Minnesota Wild, they have a 5-3 lead against the Washington Capitals. Philadelphia Flyers, actually this game has just gone final. They take the game 5-3 against the Phoenix Coyotes. The Vancouver Canucks and the Los Angeles Kings, that game is scoreless. Actually, now the Canucks have gotten a goal. They're up 1-0 with 7 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the first period. In the NFL, as you all know, one final today. Great comeback. The Indianapolis Colts take it 45-44. And a game going on right now, New Orleans at Philadelphia. And there's 2 games tomorrow in the NFL. One on CBS and one on Fox. For your update for the NFL Real Talk at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7:35 p.m. on the West Coast, I'm Sean Mann. Back to the host of NFL Real Talk and Sports World Radio, Jeff Eskow.
That update was brought to you by Keurig.coffeemachines.com. Keurig.coffeemachines.com is your one-stop shop for all your Keurig coffee needs. Whether you're looking to get your first Keurig coffee machine or you're looking for Keurig accessories, including Lazy Susan and free fall K-Cup coffee pod dispensers, KeurigCoffeeMachines.com is also your source for unique flavors from Starbucks, Donut Shop, Newman's Own, Sleepy Time Herbal Tea, and Swiss Miss Hot Chocolate. That's right, you can brew more than just coffee with your Keurig coffee machine. Visit KeurigCoffeeMachines.com today. Brewing perfection, one cup at a time. All right, welcome back to the show. What do you say we move on? What do you got next for me, pal?
The next topic that I come up with, the Pro Bowl before the Super Bowl. It's continuing to be a debate for me. I saw that it was on NBC. You know what, Jeff? In my opinion, I'd say write the Pro Bowl entirely. I don't even watch it. You don't even watch it, and I think it's a boring thing.
When is it on? A week before the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
That's why they're having 2 weeks before the Super Bowl again between the playoff games? Ugh. It's a week off of football.
Yeah, and you think about all the players who are playing and competing for the Super Bowl who represent the NFC and the players from the AFC, and all of a sudden you realize now that they have to play the Pro Bowl, that's a lot of traveling, too. You go from Hawaii, and then you got to go all the way to New York.
Well, they're not going to play in the Pro Bowl. You know that. They don't do it.
Yeah, but I'm against it. I don't think it's wise to play the Pro Bowl a week before the Super Bowl, and that just doesn't make me happy with Roger Goodell.
It should be 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think. 2 weeks after the Super Bowl. It should be. Not a week before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know why they're doing it, but it's stupid because the people who are playing in the Super Bowl can't play in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's pretty crazy. Your families can't go to Hawaii. You lose out on that nice vacation. You know, come on, man.
The next one we got, Bill Cowher says, I'm not going to return to coaching this season. In fact, Bill Cowher is expected to remain out of coaching for, quote, for a few more years. A source close to Cowher tells ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
Well, what is he doing? Waiting for one of his young kids to grow up and get done with high school?
Probably. Remember, he's had quite a tough time, especially with the loss of his wife, because his wife lost her battle with cancer.
So yeah, he's probably being the dad that they need for him to be, instead of being the head coach. Because doing that gig on Sundays, right? On TV, it's just one day a week, right?
Yeah.
Except during the playoffs. Yeah, they weren't on today, right?
They were not on. They will be on tomorrow. And that's when Cincinnati hosts San Diego. And before that, there's something called the NFL Today.
Right. So he does the gig one day a week. So he probably flies in on Saturday, so he's there and ready to go on Sunday morning, because he probably doesn't live in New York, right?
Yeah, probably.
Lives where he lives, and then he flies in.
Yep.
Hey, Ebo, what's the haps, girl?
When the Washington Redskins did not let go of defensive coordinator Jim Haslett, who coached under Cowher with the Steelers from 1997 to 1999, some league sources suspected it was with the hopes Washington could hire Cowher. That would be quite an interesting thing, seeing Daniel Snyder say, "Hey, Bill Cowher, I'd like to offer you a job to become the next head coach of the Washington Redskins."
Maybe that's why he said it, because Cowher was...
Yeah.
You know, maybe he says, well, I'm not coming back to coaching. I got to take care of my family still. You know, people respect that.
Yeah, that's true. And trying to get through what was kind of a rough stretch for him. You know, Cowher's 56.
Uh-oh.
He coached the Steelers for 15 seasons. During his tenure, the Steelers, of course, he won a Super Bowl and for the 2005 season, 8 division titles, and made 10 playoff appearances.
Right, and people respect that, so, you know, family and all that. So, and I understand what he's doing, and I got no problem with that. And he's been out for a pretty long time. I don't think that he's going to be able to come back and coach. The game's a lot faster than he's used to.
Yeah, well, his nickname was called Face. You know, he'd always be the guy that could fire up his team. He'd always be happy, or if things were bad, he'd get, yell at an official. And he was a tough coach, but he did a great job with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Wes is listening, I can give your team credit there, Wes.
Out of hell with him. I hope he's listening.
Because I think when he took over, Bill Cowher took over for the great Chuck Noll.
Why would he be listening?
Because you know very well that he wanted to
still
hear
upset.
everything that's going on. He's still upset about the call 6 days later.
He sent me a message saying that I'll send you the email that I got from Roger Goodell. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Email from Roger Goodell. Scratch my ass.
That's what he said. I said, whose email do you want? You want Jeff's email or mine?
Don't give him mine.
I won't give him I never did. And I was like, oh, gosh. Wes says, look, Goodell always sends me fan mail and emails all the time.
Scratch me behind, will you? Scratch me behind, will you there, Mr. West? Scratch me behind.
And then him saying, oh, anything about the NFL. I know more than he does because I was right and he was wrong.
Yeah, scratch me behind. Okay, whatever there, dude. I don't agree with you, but whatever.
Well, yeah, he still doesn't get over it. He still says that was... He was crawling 3 yards.
He's the biggest whiner I've ever seen in my life, man.
He goes, if you don't believe me, come to my show, Jeff, and we'll have a debate on Skype for the Chief Vic Show.
He whines more than some babies I know.
Anyway, updating the game, 20-14, the Saints over the Eagles, Philadelphia driving.
Fourth quarter, 12:43 to go, 2nd and 10 right now. Hey, Ebes, who you picking in tomorrow's game against Cincinnati and San Diego, huh? Huh? Who you doing, Ebes? Who you picking? I know who I'm picking.
I think when I looked at the points, I picked up a point on Ebo because she went with Kansas City.
Did she?
Yep, I went with Indianapolis. I picked a point up on you there, Ebo. You lost a point.
I got a point up on. I picked a point up on her too. Yay for me.
Jeff Leslie Frazier going to the Buccaneers.
What?
Going to be a defensive coordinator for Lovie Smith. What do you think?
Is that happening?
Yeah.
That just came across the ticker?
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather have seen Wade Phillips go to the Buccaneers and be the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, it says it right here. Leslie Frazier will be the next defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, they're doomed.
I don't know what kind of a defense Leslie Frazier can run. He obviously did not have a good run with Minnesota. 21-32-1.
Oh my Lord, that's not good at all. He was Oh no, that's not gonna work. Nope. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Not one thinking bit. Hard choice, Ebo. It's not a. It's an easy choice for you. If you don't pick Cincinnati, you're not a fan.
Yeah, that's some people are saying with Leslie Frazier being the new defensive coordinator that it's a very bad move for the Tampa
Ebo,
Bay Buccaneers.
really? Oh, that sucks. Ebo made her picks last week and she didn't save them.
Ooh.
That's why you ended up winning, you rat bastard, or going in the first place. Because she didn't save them. That stinks. Well, Ebo, you're only 3 points down from him, huh? Come on, you can do it. That's okay. I want Schmedley to win anyway.
Schmedley pride.
I want Schmedley to win anyway. If it can't be me, it's got to be him. You know,
yeah, that's right, Ebo. It's 4th down and 1 for the Eagles on the 5-yard
field
penalty.
goal. No, they kicked the field goal. It's 20-17 Saints. 11:14 to go in the game. Okay, so I got the first game right. Indy, Kansas City. What an amazing comeback for Indianapolis. They ended up winning 45-44. I thought the game was over. I thought Indy was done.
Yeah, I remember seeing, like, you posted on Facebook, so did I. Ebo, your thoughts about Kansas City blowing it? I would not want to be in the state of Kansas because there were a lot of Chief fans when I lived there, and Jeff obviously knows because he lived in Kansas City.
Screw him. It's Andy Reid's fault. Screw him. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. So, who you picking in the first game tomorrow? We got to make our pick. So, who you picking in the first game tomorrow?
You know, this was a tough choice, Jeff. I give the Chargers props for what they did, 4 straight wins, but I'm going to go with Andy Dalton and the Bengals. I think tomorrow they get the monkey off their back and they finally win a playoff game for the first time in 23 years.
Ebo says, if Deshaun and the Pats win, I'm definitely not coming around for a while.
Next Saturday night, Ebo. You know I'll be ready next Saturday night.
Great. Yeah, he'll be here, Ebo. He won't be able to watch the game. He'll be here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals. Jeff, San Diego, Cincinnati. Your take?
Oh, God, man. This game is so hard to pick, dude. This game is so freaking pick for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Cincinnati hasn't lost all year at home. Cincinnati and Andy Dalton are my dark horse team. I love Andy Dalton. I'm a huge Andy Dalton fan. Big Andy Dalton fan. San Diego Chargers won their last 4 games to get in. Needed some help. Got the help to get in. They are in. They're playing really good football right now. I am in such a quandary. It is incredible. I don't know who to pick.
It's a really tough choice because you live in San Diego and the Bengals are your dark horse
Okay,
team.
I have San Diego. I picked San Diego. That's what I picked. Okay. That's who I have picked. I have San Diego picked. I want to see Cincinnati win just because I'm an Andy Dalton fan and I need Andy Dalton to get his freaking first playoff win so bad. But personally, I think the San Diego Chargers, if they win this game tomorrow, have a better chance of beating the Denver Broncos than the Cincinnati Bengals do.
Yeah, I would say the Chargers would have the advantage if they go up against Denver,
Okay.
but I'm looking at the last time they played. San Diego, the
And
Bengals on
lost.
December 1st, and Andy Dalton and the Bengals went in there and beat San Diego
Correct.
17-10.
This is a different team.
Yep.
It's a different San Diego football team than it was when they played Cincinnati last. You know what? I'm staying with my pick. I'm staying with San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking the Chargers.
Ooh. If Wes was here, Wes is saying, I know why you're doing it, Jeff, because you want to see the Chargers win the Super Bowl and stick it in my face.
It's hard for me, but 86% like the Bengals. Well, I'm glad 86% like the Bengals. Good for the 86. I'm going to be part of that 14, and I'm going to take the Chargers.
So we're going on opposite directions. I'm taking Cincinnati, and Jeff's taking San Diego.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yep. There. I'm a big Dalton fan. I want to see Cincinnati do well. I will not be angry. In fact, I will be happy as all hell if Cincinnati wins. Okay?
Yep.
So don't take it wrong. I made the pick. I'm taking San Diego. That's just the way it is. Next.
The next game we get to, the NFL on Fox. It's the afternoon game. It will be the San Francisco 49ers at the Green Bay Packers. And remember, this is a rematch of last year's NFC wildcard game. And Green Bay lost 45-31 against San Francisco.
And it's going to be cold as a son of a bitch. Isn't it?
Yeah, very cold. They're saying it's expected to be the second coldest game in Lambeau Field since the Ice Bowl. And I went with San Francisco, but I'm going to go with Green Bay. I think it's going to be very tough for San Francisco to win tomorrow in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Oh, my Lord. Why are these playoff games so hard to freaking pick? You know? I'm going to, you ever hear the expression? You know when you have a Band-Aid off? You know when you have a Band-Aid and it's time to take the Band-Aid off and you don't know whether to peel it off really quick to make it sting and just go away or to do it slowly, right? When you have a Band-Aid and you take it off, how do you take it off? Do you rip it off really quick, or do you do it slow and painful?
Oh my gosh, I'd say
when you
take
have
it off slow and painful, in my opinion.
That's how you take a Band-Aid off of you? Or do you just rip it right off you and get it off of you really quick?
Yeah, well...
How do you take a Band-Aid off?
We can do it differently. One, you can rip it off quickly, or one, you can do it slow
I'm asking you, how do you do it?
I rip it off real quickly. I'm just teasing.
Okay, so you rip it off real quickly. Okay, so I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to rip it off. I'm taking San Francisco. Done. Oh, God, that hurt.
Oh, my gosh. So okay, this is good, though. This is good. I'm picking one team, and Jeff's going in the opposite direction on both games tomorrow. That's just perfect.
Ow, that hurt. Ow, that hurt. See, I did it quick. With the Cincinnati game, I did it slow and painfully. And with the Green Bay, I did it quick and really painful. See, that's why I asked you. That's why I asked you, how do you take off your Band-Aid?
Question, too.
That's how because I wanted to know, because that's how I was going to do it. And that's how I did it. You say, I rip it off really quick and painfully. I said, okay, let's do it that way. San Francisco 49ers. Ow! That's what we're doing. Okay, so you're taking Green Bay and Cincy, and I'm taking the Chargers and the 49ers. Holy freaking cannoli. Right?
Yep.
Holy. Wow. That's great. You got to love that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You got to love that. Wow. Okay, so with that being said, what are you doing for the score San Francisco-Green Bay game?
San Francisco makes a game of it, but you know what? Green Bay is going to kick a game-winning field goal, and they're going to take it 22-21.
San Francisco-Green Bay 22-21?
Yeah, 22-21, Packers.
I have it. San Francisco 27, Green Bay 20.
Ooh! So we're both really close. It's like 7 points or less.
Yes. Yes. Okay. New Orleans just kicked a field goal. It is now 23-17 New Orleans.
It looks like this one's going down to the wire, folks.
8:04 left in the game. What's the score you're going to have for the San Diego-Cincinnati game?
28-17 Bengals.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. Andy Dalton's going to have a good game.
You know what? You know how we saw the first game, high scoring, polluting game?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we're going to see in this first game here. San Diego 37, Cincinnati 35.
Ooh! I was 1 point off. I was saying Jeff's going to say 37-36 or 45-44.
37-35, San Diego kicks a field goal at the end to win it.
And stuns the Bengals fans, and the playoff drought lives.
Yes, exactly. That's how I have it all planned in my head. Yes.
And then I'll be waiting to hear from Wes, and Wes will be like, "Oh, great, San Diego won." I said, "The NBA, say the NFL is just like NBA. It's all nothing but a fixed game."
Okay, so now if San Diego wins, being the 6th seed, they would go to Denver, correct?
Correct.
And then your team would face Indy, right?
That's right.
Okay. If Cincinnati wins,
yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati goes to New England, and you go to Denver. I mean, and Indianapolis goes to Denver, right?
Yeah, there's still a lot of unfinished business, but everybody will be knowing who plays who after tomorrow's results.
Right. So that's what happens. So depending on who wins tomorrow is depending on who plays who next week, correct?
Correct.
Wow. See, that's pretty crazy right there. That's pretty crazy right there. So, okay. So in that case, personally, I think Cincinnati's got I think San Diego's got a better chance of beating Denver than Indianapolis does. And how great, but how great would that be if Cincinnati wins? Indianapolis has to go into Denver, and you get luck against Peyton.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
What I would hope is I'd hope Indianapolis would beat Denver, and then New England could host the AFC Championship game.
You see what I'm saying? If Cincinnati wins tomorrow, you get luck against Peyton in Denver.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I want, Cincinnati to win, and then what was to be? The Patriots would play the
Patriots would play Cincinnati.
That's right.
If Cincinnati wins, the Patriots get Cincinnati, and Peyton and Luck go against each other in Denver. If San Diego wins, San Diego goes to Denver, and Indy goes to New England. That's what's going to happen. That's as simple as that. As simple as that.
Yeah, but I'll say whatever the outcome is, I'll still say that the Kansas City-Indianapolis one was the best playoff game of the entire weekend, and it was great. A lot of high scoring, but it was definitely like a movie or like playing like Browning said, a game, because Chiefs played well in the first half, and then the Colts just turned it around the second half and beat them 45-44.
Ebo, you're right. They did play already once this year in Indy, and Indy beat the Broncos. But it'll be fun to see it happen in the playoffs. Different setting, different surroundings. It'll be different. It'll be a lot.
Colts beat Denver 36-31 in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I remember that was the return of Peyton Manning.
You're right. Exactly. So it's gonna, both of those games, that especially that Indy game, that first game, Cincinnati Charger game is going to be a very, very interesting game. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch tomorrow.
But I know it starts at 10:05.
Yeah,
10 o'clock a.m., which is 1 p.m. Eastern.
Right, and then the second game is on at 1 o'clock for us.
Yep, my Skype will be on too, and I know Jeff and I will be Skyping.
Right, so by the time 5 o'clock rolls around for you and I, football is over, and we still got the rest of the evening. Where everybody else on the East Coast is going to be getting ready to go to bed because it's 8 o'clock at night.
Yep.
Right?
And everybody will be getting ready to go back to school, and Christmas, of course, tomorrow's like their last Christmas day for the kids.
Yep. So everybody will be getting ready to go back to school and work on Monday, and it'll be back to normal. Thank God. Thank God for that. Hey, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us here on NFL Real Talk. We'll be back on Monday with Sports World Radio. That was Sean Mann. I'm Jeff Escow. This has been NFL Real Talk. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out, everybody. Have a great football Sunday. We will see you on Monday. Later.
Goodbye.
Hey, boy, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty soon. Don't worry.
Pretty soon?